Hey, what's going on? I'm doing a little change of pace. I want to try something out. I'm doing this new little segment called Musician Confession. So I'm just going to kind of talk about some of the stories that got me to where I am today. Cause so mind you, I'm nowhere near where I think or I should be, or whatever. I'm where I'm supposed to be, but there has been a lot of stories, a lot of things that's happened in between then and now that I think kind of will shape who I've been, who I am, and kind of where I want to go. So today I want to talk about. I want to tell the story of the worst feeling I've had playing bass and how I almost passed out. All right, so I'm originally born and raised Philadelphia, right? So I've always played at this small church in Jersey, and that's where I started. Started playing bass in this church in Jersey, and basically I cut my teeth there. I thought I got real good. Got to a point, got to a point where I thought I was really good. In actuality, I wasn't really good, but I thought I was better than what I thought I was. So it was one time I was playing with this local artist, gospel group. One thing about Philly back in the day, they had a bunch of gospel groups. I'm going to talk about that in another time. But we went to this church called Ford Memorial. I'll name drop, just to make it more interesting. So my group that I was playing for, we went to this church, did a set at Ford Memorial. This is right around the time where Ford Memorial was, and maybe still is, but definitely the most notable church in Philly, where all the big mainstream, main star, upper echelon musicians came to play. If you remember this, it was a show called Making the Band. This is like some Diddy show, and it was this group called Franklin Bridge that was a part of it. So it had this guy guitar, Kurt Chambers, I believe Wayne Moore on bass, and I believe Aaron Spears was on kit. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure who was on keys, but they got on the show, and I guess they were out. So it just so happened when me and this group played at Ford. Of course, I believe Wayne was either there full time at Ford playing or just spot filling. But the director had asked me to play, I guess, to fill in. So I wasn't really consistent at church playing because they already had a bass player. So I ended up basically I asked my pastor, I was like, hey, is it cool that I go and fill in at this church, fill at Ford? She was familiar before, so it wasn't a big deal. So go to Ford. Now I know Ford's reputation. They have amazing musicians. They shout all the time, and they have it's just a golden standard of musicianship. So for me to be in there playing, I'm like, wow, I have arrived, right? So I go in there and I play. I was struggling, honestly. I thought I was really good. And of course, I believe it was like Ford Memorial Temple or Choir. I forgot the full name, but they were always asked to sing out with Bishop Stephen Ford. Great man. So, sad that he passed a few years ago. But regardless, we was playing. We playing at this one. We got asked to play at this one church. Mind you, this is years ago. I couldn't even tell you. Couldn't even date it. So we had to go out to this church. Mind you, this was before GPS. This is before you just had to know where you're going. I pull up to the church, and nobody really knows who I am. I just kind of followed everybody. I remember I had this big old black Tahoe, right? I'm driving trying to follow somebody. I don't even know if these people knew I was following them. We were so far out. I don't know. It was so funny, but we were driving. I remember this one. I remember like it was yesterday. They were flying, and I'm just trying to catch up because, mind you, I don't know where I am. I had no cell phone at the time, I don't think, or definitely didn't have any directions. So I didn't even know where this church was. I was just hoping that I could keep up with this dude. So fast forward, we get to the church. And the organist, he's a big time organists in the city, and then even maybe like across the country. Because when I remember when I walked in there, the man got dapped up every single turn. And I remember I was walking in with my bass, and then it was this guy, another bass player. I'm assuming he had just walked up to him. No, he definitely was a bass player. He walked up to him, and he was like, he said, "Are you going to be all right tonight?" The keyboard player, the organist, he looks at me, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll be all right." So yeah, I'll be all right. Man, that man knew. He knew that wasn't gonna. He was nice, man. So Bishop's Choir, they in the back somewhere, bro. I am out of my league. When I saw the stardom, I mean, just household names of musicians in this church, I was like, I am not supposed to be here. I am not supposed to be here. These people, amazing, phenomenal, world-class musicians, right? Playing some concert. So Bishop's, I guess they were like one of the features or whatever. So they're in the back, and yo, I am literally hyperventilating. I knew I was not supposed to be here. I was not on par with like my musicianship. I thought I was good until you get around actually really good musicians. I'm just gonna be honest. I was just not ready. So I'm in there. I got the bag in my hand. I don't know where I got a paper bag from. I'm literally like blowing into this paper bag, like sick, right? So it's their time to get up, right? So I had this Mexican Fender. It was my Road Warrior. It needed some work. It was like the knobs was kind of like janky, but it was still play. So I remember it's time for us to go up. I couldn't tell you the song that they sang. I couldn't tell you. All I remember was, if you ever been to a musical, all the musicians kind of crowd around the musician pit because they just trying to see something. I'm dumb, young, and don't know what I'm doing. Out of my league. I plug in, and they start playing. I think it was the input was a little shoddy. I think it wasn't knobs. It was the input where you plug the instrument cable into the instrument itself. So I remember I'm trying to play, and it was just shoddy, but it was still play. I remember one guy, he was like, "Yo, what's up with your bass? You can't hear the bass." They were mid song. I'm turned almost all the way down because one, I was not confident in this song. I'm just shocked at who's sitting behind me, and then just that pressure of everybody watching me. All I remember was the organist. He just took over. All I see is his foot moving like this. I mean, got playing the key the bass part in his left hand. Oh, yo. And it was funny. I think it might have been after that actually, where we went back, and then they were like, you know what? Like we're not gonna be needing you any longer. So really appreciate you coming out and helping us. But yo, I'm telling you, that was probably one of the just craziest times. I've never felt like that before. I mean, shook. But cool. That's one. I'm gonna tell a whole bunch of stories. So yeah, if you like that, you know, I got plenty more now. I'm about to go down memory lane. But yeah, if you liked it, let me know in the comments. Let me know your personal experience, because hey, I want to share. I want to hear your story. So until then, I'll see y'all again.